Okay, hey everybody, this is Grace. I came out here to just to get out of the house again. I'm not gonna go anywhere, go do all that. But I came out here, just good, just to get out of the house. We had opened the windows today because, like right now, it's 64 degrees. It's January 30th, 5:16 p.m. And he opened the back window earlier. We were having bad storms all night and everything, and he opened the window today, and it had been real foggy, very foggy, since sometime yesterday. And I guess it had rained so much my dog wouldn't even go out. In the middle of the night, he had to go out. He went. I let him out on the patio, which is covered, and he looked around. I knew he wasn't gonna go out, and he turned right back around, came back in the house. That's just one of them. The other one wasn't going to be bothered with it. But anyway, after he opened the window, I was asleep. I'd stayed up all night, couldn't sleep, nothing unusual. And when I got up, the house, all that humidity, we haven't had much because the heater was on. It had gotten down to 15%, which I looked it up online, and I don't know. One I saw 30%, the another one I saw 35% or below. Those is danger zone, is dangerous, low humidity. But it went up to like 40 or something like that. But it smelled like salt. It smelled like, I grew up on the Gulf. This is not the Gulf. This is north of Dallas. I'm in Texas, north of Dallas. And it's far from the coast. But it did smell like that. And it was like, what? Like salt. Like the salt air of being on the beach, around the beach. And he was saying that, Adam was saying that maybe it's just all of that on the grass and everything else. But when I tried to let the dog out, because I knew he wouldn't go, like I said. But we have screened in patio, and the what's around it, the screens, they were just saturated with rain. It was so bad. I mean, it was, never seen them like that. But anyway, that was a little bit too much for me. I've been having trouble breathing lately, and I thought it was, mainly that humidity. But it could be, now it's like salt in the air inside the house. Can't be satisfied. It's gonna have to be summer. Well, I almost said Christmas. Have to be summer, but or later on this week, this Saturday, and today is Thursday. I think by Sunday we're into the 70s, and almost 80 on one of those days. For a few days at least. I don't know about after that. And that'll be good. I'm Texan. Can't handle that cold weather and the heater on. No central heat. No. And we only had it, most time it was between 65 and 68. Hardly ever 68. Usually 67 and below. And this is too much. And I have a humidifier, a huge one. Has two big tanks, and it couldn't keep up. So it couldn't even get up to, when the heat had to be on, it couldn't even get up to 30%. That's bad. Anyway, like I said, I just thought I'd come out here. We had been watching the news today, and we watched yesterday and today, and we watch it every once in a while now. I had stopped watching it for years after January 6th. I stopped watching it until more recently. And I'm disgusted already, and have been. There's so much stupidity and so much conspiracy theory. I don't care what channel. I'm talking about cable, news networks. Ugh. There's too much conspiracy, too much. And so I had laid down. So like I said, I didn't sleep last night. I did fall asleep early in the morning for a little bit. And still need some sleep. But I was watching some shorts, hashtag shorts on YouTube, and what started showing up was people doing, like people. I've seen a lot of them that people doing good things, whether it's for animals or to other people. And first it started off with the animals, then it went to people, and I like them, and of course I get more and more. And it was good. It was good to see something good happening. People doing good, and good for people, like rescuing people, rescuing babies, children, and animals, like I said, and just people doing good things, helping other people out. It's nice to see. It's not, and I was crying, I was laying down in the bed watching these, and I was crying. That felt good too, just to get, that release from so much. I was telling Adam earlier, I said, yeah, we want, of course, to keep up with what's going on, but at the same time, just a little bit can be so negative. I mean, it is negative, and it just can. I'm not saying this for anybody else, I was just talking about us, and just too negative for us. And it just a little bit, watch one show, because we said we were only going to watch one show, and one news network show, 1 hour, so 5 days a week. And even that, it's just all negative. And it just sticks. Like he says, for him, he tries to go to sleep and it's in his brain. He's thinking about it. So much negativity. And I do videos on, been doing them for, I think, April or so will be 10 years. And I've done stuff before then about, narcissistic people, people with cluster B behaviors, like narcissism and others. And it's negative. I mean, it's my way of venting what I see, what I experience, what I have in the past, present. I've experienced these kinds of things, like histrionic people, not myself, but seeing people, being around people who do these things since I was born. I mean, really, it comes down to it. And I'm 61, and it's just venting, get out of my system. I don't believe in holding it in. I'm not saying it for anybody else. No, I never do. Just I don't believe in letting it bottle up inside. But anyway, I came out here, and we always feed the birds. We just throw some feed out or some bread, crumbs, bread that we didn't eat, and cleaning up, some of the stuff we had stored in our deep freeze. I mean, I'm talking like bread stuff. And they love it. And the crows, oh my goodness. So I came out and noticed that they were out of birdseed. Well, it's 5:24, and they've eaten it all up. And he said he put out some bread for them too. And when I come out, I saw a bird fly off. And then I heard, it was smaller than a crow. And then one of the crows just started, like it was yelling at me. And it wouldn't stop. So I called him right before I started this video from my SUV. And he's inside. And I told him. And he said, nope, they're just going to have to learn. They have to think ahead of time. Like, whatever, dude. Because it is late. If you put feed out too late, you're going to have, we live around farms. So yeah, you're going to have those you don't want to have around. So anyway, but they ate up all they had. It got wet in the rain, some of it, but they ate up all up. There's probably not even a speck left. But that stuff we do. Before we got the patio fenced in, it's got a deck over it too. Not fenced in, but you know what I'm saying. But it has a deck, like I said. Before then, it was just open, And it really was just a slab, a concrete slab. That was it. And I used to have a table out there that I would feed, put food out for animals, and I would have birds and a lot of squirrels. Squirrels loved it. And also rabbits. And lots of rabbits, baby rabbits even, and birds. And like I said, every once in a while there would be a cat. I think it's one of our neighbors. They keep it outside. That's not normal, we here. But and we got one of those cams, webcams, had it out there. I don't know what you call it, but we would every once in a while look at it at night when the dogs were out there, or when they weren't out there. We'd see all kinds of animals come up, because we live around farms, nature preserve and all that. And we'd see all kinds of stuff come out there. It's like, what in the world? One time we saw two squirrels, not squirrels, but rabbits. And one of them was interested in the other one and how they jump high up. And if they accept it, I think that's how it goes. And we saw that. It's just some interesting stuff. Like I said, just get out of the house. Okay, anyway, turn that off for a minute. My stomach starts growling. It's been doing this since sometime yesterday, or the day before even. It's like, I don't know. It's like, actually it's been a while. Like I'm always hungry. I mean, my stomach is growling, but I don't feel hungry. It's kind of weird, And I eat something, and like, say an hour, a couple hours later or something, I'm hungry. It starts growling again. Okay. But I have an appointment with my doctor, so I get all that straight. And speaking of appointments, I usually have like 3 planners, daily planners, a year. I buy them at the beginning of the year, have 3 of them, or at the end of the other year. And, for different things that I do. And I've never had one for appointments. But this year, I have so many appointments. Finally, I've found a system that works. And they actually, do referrals that you don't have to beg for and never get. And so this one does. And last year, they started making give me all these referrals for different things just to check out, because, I'm 61. And some of it's to check out, some of it's, what's going on here. And I bought a planner, daily planner, just for that. It's a big, big one's like a regular sheet of paper, that size, 8 by 11 or whatever it is. But, it's got a it's got all the usual planner stuff, plus a whole calendar, for each month. And today's the 30th of January. That month has so much whiteout on it. I get those whiteout roller ones, and so much on it, because there's so many reschedules. So, it wasn't all them. Some of it, one of them said, I don't need to go to this one, because that wasn't the problem to start off with. And one of them was because, we had snow and ice, and basically they shut the place down. So don't go out unless you have to. So I had to reschedule. And then I have had, I don't know, one of them was like really weird, and it's still weird. They called me today to reschedule. This is the second, I had another one that rescheduled last week, and then another one that rescheduled this week. And I'm like, haven't we done this before? And they said, no. The girl was really snappy, and the young woman. And she said, no, you've only, you're a new patient. This is the first time we're rescheduling. I said, does she, at some point, and I said, does she do this often? Because I was in one office, not my doctor's, but another one. And I was sitting there in the waiting room waiting for my appointment, to go in, waiting for them to call me, and my appointment was already then. And I was listening to the two women behind the front desk, and they were calling patients to reschedule. And my first experience with this, I don't know what you call them, network maybe or something. The first experience was in 2023, and it was it was to see a nurse to fast track to the doctor. The next time I would see the doctor, not as a new patient, which would be scheduled out months later. And she just decided she was going to take that day off, and nobody called me, nothing. I did not know about Portal. They had a portal and all this stuff. So nobody told me that they had that system. Nobody explained the system, that everything's done through this portal, and the place I was going to, two different ones, they didn't have any portal. I mean, I'd heard of them before, but how was I to know? How would you know? Your first ever appointment with that system, or that whatever, and how would you know if nobody tells you? You call, you make an appointment, nobody tells you, well, we have this portal that you got to get on and all this. They need to think about that and not be so snappy. But my experiences so far has been to see, to hear, and to experience rescheduling. Oh, they're not gonna be in that day, or they decided, to take that afternoon off, or this kind of thing. I'm like, do they realize that some people have to take off time from work, and they have to tell their boss when they're gonna do it? So just a sudden reschedule, and they act, all of them that I've spoken to so far, not all of them, but most of them, it's been for years, different, not even that system or that whatever. The front desk, my life. They act like they're in the superior position. Now, I don't play that totem pole game at all, but when somebody's acting like they are the boss, Adam says it happens to him too. And like they're the boss and you have to mind them. I don't think so. Nope, I know not. I'm not gonna mind anybody. Like that one doctor that told me I have to mind her. I never went back. She was a specialist too. Never went back. Said no thanks. Adam was there too. Oh, it was a mess. But all of them act like they're superior beings and we're the inferior ones. I'm not one to say things like, no, we're paying your salary. But the past few years, I've been respecting that more because it's true. It really is. Not each individual, but I don't like the whole attitude of, like I said, I don't play the totem pole game. But I can respect it more, hearing people act like the person who's actually paying for something is the lowest person on that totem pole that they play. I don't like it. I don't play it. But, you're not going to talk down to me. And as it is when a person goes to a doctor, it's the patient. You could say it's equal between the doctor or the healthcare provider and this is supposed to be this way, and the patient, but the patient still has the final decision if they want to do that or not. They want to, like this one of them, I saw not this doctor, but another one, I don't think he's going to be a good fit. I might mention that to my doctor that I want a different referral, because he said, and at some point I'm probably going to change your medication. He didn't ask. He told. Big red flag for me. Big red flag. Plus, they wanted to do something at EKG, and I had just done one 2 weeks before, and the doctor said nothing is wrong with it, with me. And the office manager, she came in instead of the MA or PA or whatever, and she said, well, he's probably going to want his own. I said, why? My favorite question since I was young. I said, why? I said, I just did it 2 weeks ago. Nothing was wrong. Well, he'll still probably want his own. I said, no. Why don't you ask him? I just had it done 2 weeks ago. And if he says that he does need his own, I want to know why. Because I've heard that own. They want their own. That's my time No, and it's not about money because mine pays really well, like almost 100% on everything, my health insurance. So she went out and she came back and she said, no, he said, you're okay. So he comes in, he talks a little bit, and then he says, but I just can't believe nothing was wrong with you. I'm like, whoa. And I don't believe in calling it poor bedside manner. I call it what it is. It's some form of verbal abuse. But he was, I mean, that's just, or just rude, just wrong for him to say he can't believe. The other doctor that took it said but he didn't say it in that tone. Like this one did. He said, so I'm going to have you run some more extensive tests. Okay, did you ask my permission? Did we discuss it? Because that's what it's supposed to be. Don't let them fool you. It's supposed to be a discussion, not a tyrant, a dictator. And when I hear that red flags go, flying around, waving, and those bells go crazy, no. So, wow. And then he was a young guy, and probably just out of school, and he was like, then I'm going to see you in a month, and I want everything done by then. I'm going to ask. If I remember, because I got other things to talk about. But if not, I'll just cancel it, because no, you're not going to talk down to me, and you're not going to be a dictator. Period. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I thought it was going to get dark earlier, but nope. I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.